This is Valley News Live at noon.
We will begin with breaking news this afternoon. A semi is flipped in a ditch off I-94, causing traffic to back up. Here you can see traffic is slowing as crews work on the scene. Now this is near exit 6 in Moorhead. The call came in around 10:15 this morning. We have no other information right now, but we will share updates as we get them onto our website at valleynewslive.com or our VNL News app.
Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate requiring masks in all U.S. airports and onboard aircraft.
Passengers cheered mid-flight when they heard masks are no longer required on planes. A federal judge in Florida struck down the mask mandate for airplanes and mass transit yesterday. Last week, the CDC extended the mandate until May because of the BA.2 Omicron subvariant. But the judge says the CDC overstepped its authority. The ruling leaves it up to the airlines, airports, and mass transit systems to make their own decisions about mask requirements. Travelers had mixed reactions to the end of the mandate.
I think it's time to just kind of get on with life.
We can't act like it doesn't exist. So just to be safe, even though they let our guards down, that's when they'll come back on us.
The Biden administration expressed disappointment with the judge's decision, but did not indicate that it plans to appeal. And just this morning, Uber and Lyft also ended their mask policy for drivers and riders. If you thought it was colder than usual during this time of year, you're not alone. Some areas like Grand Forks have seen record lows over the past couple of days. Let's check in with Summer Schnellbach with a quick look at the weather. Summer?
Yeah, thank you so much, JC. We're not just talking about 1 or 2 degrees below average. We're talking the record this morning in Grand Forks at the airport was smashed by 15 degrees. 4 degrees this morning at the Grand Forks airport. That is cold for this time of year. The previous record was 19 degrees, tied in both 1991 and 1981. So it's been cold across the entire region, especially with all of that fresh snowpack. Check out Can-Do, 2 degrees below zero, and we are in mid-April. 16 degrees was the low in Cooperstown and Carrington, 19 in Crookston and Monoman, 18 in Fargo, 5 in Cavalier, 1 up in Langdon. For today, we are seeing slightly warmer temperatures, still about 20 degrees below average, increasing wind and fairly cloudy skies. Heading into our Wednesday, we will start to see rain developing for our southern part of the region, snow up to the north. Temperatures right now are primarily in the 30s with a mix of sunshine and clouds. That wind is starting to pick up. So JC, in your hour-by-hour forecast, I'll time out when the strongest of the winds will be, and of course take a look at the precipitation, not only for tomorrow, but the upcoming storm for the weekend.
Thank you, Summer. Authorities in Polk and Grand Forks counties are searching for the person who took police on a multi-county chase and then ran. The Polk County Sheriff's Office says it started in Grand Forks County, where police tried to stop a vehicle but stopped when the car reached Polk County there in Minnesota. 2 canines tried to track down the suspect when they were unable to follow that person. Authorities say at this time there is no threat to the public and the investigation is ongoing. The 44-year-old man who died on Friday during a collision involving a vehicle and a Canadian National Railroad train has been identified. It happened at the intersection of County Road 12 and Highway 11 near War Road. Authorities say Gary Richard Lucier of War Road was in a 2001 Chevrolet truck that was stopped on the railroad tracks. Witnesses say the railroad crossing arms were down and the train's horn was blowing. Lucier was pronounced dead on the scene. At this time, the crash remains under investigation. Despite the growing population, the city of West Fargo had an overall decrease in crime, according to the 2021 West Fargo Police Department annual report. West Fargo police officials report the city saw an 8% decrease in crime in 2021 compared to the previous year. The department reported more than 3,200 crimes last year compared to around 3,500 in 2020. The number of crimes against persons increased by 50 from 2020 to last year, and property crimes decreased by 10%. The department responded to 28,000 calls for service over last year. The Pentagon estimates Russia has sent 11 more battalion tactical groups into eastern Ukraine. That would equate to about 8,000 to 11,000 additional soldiers. Russia says it hit more than 1,200 targets with missile and rocket attacks overnight. President Biden held a video call with Western allies this morning to discuss the steps, and another round of sanctions targeting Russia is expected soon. They're also considering how to step up military assistance for Ukraine. Ukraine has completed its application for membership in the European Union, but the EU says it will fast-track consideration of that application. Some are calling it a candemic. When people started staying home in 2020, they started sipping more canned beverages. While great for craft beer sales, aluminum manufacturers still struggle to keep up. Instead of ordering 1 case of aluminum cans, Drecker Brewing Company here in Fargo now has to triple or even quadruple their order. The price of each can increasing by a minimum of 25%, making them have to fork out a lot of cash and find more storage for the excess cans. Coming up at noon, a new environmental movement growing around the country might keep you from tedious yard work. But next, what areas might see snow when a new system moves into the region?